Hi, I'm Robert Heckler, the Program Director for Bay Area Council 2020 Fall Camp. This video is a series of videos that will be provided to 2020 Fall Camp staff for minimum training requirements set forth by the NCAP standards from BSA National. Today's presentation is going to cover staff orientation. We have a presentation for you. Bay Area Council Fall Camp Staff Orientation, come experience Fall Camp with us. I want you to pay attention to that motto, to come experience Fall Camp, and want you to be to a point where you can embrace that motto. In order to embrace that motto, you have to understand why that motto is what it is. Our goal with Fall Camp was to provide a different program, and not just to offer a camp, but to offer an experience. And we do that through the program that we offer. We do that by the staff that we use at camp, and it makes it an experience to come and experience the Fall Camp adventure. Embrace that motto, and that is the forefront of the way that we're going to present our camp. Our camp mission is to provide scouts with a safe, dynamic, and relevant programming through an exciting, immersive experience. Our scouts when they come to camp, they sign up for a track that they immerse themselves in for the week. And whatever the subject matter, whatever the theme of that track is for the week, that immersion allows that scout to experience whatever subject or topic that they're learning about on another level, above and beyond the normal merit badge format of camp. Safety is the first and foremost, most important aspect of any camp. We use that through publications such as the Guide to Safe Scouting, the BSA National NCAP standards. We use the Sweet 16 of Scouting Safety, all state and local laws, Department of State Health Services here in Texas. All the camps are in compliance with all of these governing documents on safety. We're going to go over the Sweet 16 of Scouting Safety. Qualified supervision is every BSA activity should be supervised by a conscientious adult who understands and knowingly accepts responsibility for the well-being and safety of the children and the youth in his or her care. The supervisor should be sufficiently trained, experienced, and skilled in the activity to be confident in his or her ability to lead and to teach necessary skills and to respond effectively in the event of emergency. Field knowledge of all applicable BSA standards and a commitment to implement and follow BSA policies and procedures are essential parts of the supervisor's qualifications. Physical fitness. For youth participants, any potential strenuous activity, the supervisor should receive a complete health history from the healthcare professional, parent, or guardian. Adult participants and youth involved in higher risk activity may require professional evaluation in addition to the health history. The supervisor should adjust all supervision, discipline, and protection to anticipate potential risk associated with the individual health conditions. Neither youth nor adults should participate in any activity which they are unfit. To do so would place both the individual and others at risk. The buddy system. The long history of the buddy system in scouting has shown that it's always best to have at least one other person with you and aware at all times as to your circumstances and what you're doing in any outdoor strenuous activity. The safe area or course is a key of a supervisor's responsibility is to know the area or the course of the activity and to determine that it is well suited and free of hazards. Equipment selection and maintenance. Most activities require specialized equipment. Equipment should be selected to suit the participant in the activity and to include appropriate safety and program features. A supervisor should also check equipment to determine that it is in good condition for the activity and is properly maintained while in use. Personal safety equipment. The supervisor must ensure that every participant has and uses the appropriate personal safety equipment. For example, activity afloat requires a PFD properly worn by each participant. Bikers, horseback riders, and whitewater kayakers need helmets for certain activities. Skaters may need protective gear, and all need to be dressed for warmth and utility depending on the circumstances. Safety procedures and policies. For most activities, there are common sense procedures and standards that can greatly reduce risk. These should be known and appreciated by all participants, and a supervisor must ensure compliance. Talked about this briefly in the opening about the Guide to Safe Scouting, the BSA National NCAP standards. And also all of our activities go beyond a hazard analysis assessment through the council staff, to a council hazard analysis team that reviews all of this. And all of that is to mitigate any risk to make it as safe as possible for our scouts. There's a minimum skill level required for every activity, and the supervisor must identify and recognize this minimum skill level and be sure that none is put at risk by attempting activities beyond the individual's ability. The weather factors, the risk factors in many outdoor activities vary substantially with the weather. These variables and the appropriate responses should be understood and anticipated. Planning. Safe activity follows a plan that has been conscientiously developed by the experienced supervisor and other competent sources. Good planning minimizes risk and also anticipates contingencies that may require emergency response or a change of plan. Communications. The supervisor needs to be able to communicate effectively with participants as needed during the activity. Emergency communications also need to be considered in advance for any foreseeable contingencies. Permanent notice, BSA tour plans, council office registration, government or landowner authorization, and any similar formalities are the supervisor's responsibility when such are required. Appropriate notification should be directed to parents, enforcement authorities, landowners, and others as needed before and after the activity. First aid resources. The supervisor should determine what first aid supplies to include among the activity equipment. The level of first aid training and skill appropriate for the activity should always be considered. An extended trek over remote terrain obviously may require more first aid resources and capabilities than an afternoon activity in the local community. Whatever is determined should be available. Applicable laws. BSA safety policies, general parallel, go beyond legal mandates, but the supervisor should confirm and ensure compliance with all applicable regulations or statutes. CPR resources. Any strenuous activity or remote trek could result in cardiac emergency. Aquatic programs may involve cardiopulmonary emergencies. The BSA strongly recommends that a CPR trained person, preferably an adult, be part of the leadership for any BSA program. Such a resource should be available for strenuous outdoor activities. And discipline. No supervisor is effective if he or she cannot control the activity and the individual participants. Youth must respect their leader and follow his or her direction. Into these general rules, safety concerns in certain BSA activities, including most of the aquatic program, have been specifically addressed in more detailed guidelines. All leaders should review and comply with such guidelines in respective activities. Swimming would be safe swim defense, the boating and safety afloat, and several others it mentions. The guide to say, or the BSA shooting sports manual would be something specific to that as well. Moving on, the next section we're going to talk about is the aims and the methods of scouting. Aims of scouting are character development, citizenship training, and mental and physical fitness. The methods of scouting are the ideals, the patrol method, the outdoors, advancement, association with adults, personal growth, leadership development, and the uniform. The ideals include the oath, the law, the motto, and the slogan. Patrol method includes peer groups, elected representation, and activities. The outdoors, all outdoor programs. Advancement, self-reliance, ability to help others, and challenge. The association with adults, image, role model, or an example. Personal growth involves a good turn, service projects, religious emblems. Leadership development, leadership skills, practice, and citizenship. And the uniform, commitment to aims and identity. The ideals of scouting are spelled out in the Scout Oath and the Scout Law, the Scout Motto, and the Scout Slogan. The Scout measures himself against these ideals and continually tries to improve. The goals are high, and as he reaches for them, he or she has some control over what and who they become. The patrol method gives Scouts an experience in group living and participating in citizenship. It places responsibility on the young shoulders and teaches Scouts how to accept that responsibility. The patrol method allows Scouts to interact in small groups where members can easily relate to each other. These small groups determine troop activities and through elected representatives. Outdoor programs. Scouting is designed to take place outdoors. It is in the outdoor setting that Scouts share responsibilities and learn to live with one another. And the outdoors, the skills and activities practiced at troop meetings come alive with purpose. Being close to nature helps scouts gain an appreciation for the beauty of the world around us. The outdoors is the laboratory in which scouts learn ecology, practice conservation of nature's resources. Advancement. Boy Scouts of America provides a series of surmountable obstacles and steps and overcoming them through the advancement method. The scout plans his or her advancement and progresses at their own pace as he or she meets each challenge. The scout is rewarded for each achievement, which helps gain confidence. The steps in the advancement system help a Boy Scout grow in self-reliance and in the ability to help others. The association with adults. Scouts learn a great deal by watching how adults conduct themselves. Scout leaders can be positive role models for the members of the troop. In many cases, a scoutmaster who is willing to listen to scouts, encourage them, and take a sincere interest in them can make a profound difference in their lives. Personal growth. As scouts plan their activities and progress toward their goals, they experience personal growth. The good term concept is a major part of personal growth and method of Boy Scouting. Scouts grow as they participate in community service projects and do good turns for others. Probably no device is successful in developing a basis for personal growth as the daily good turn. Leadership development. The Boy Scout program encourages scouts to learn and practice leadership skills. Every scout has the opportunity to participate in both shared and total leadership situations. Understanding the concepts of leadership help a scout accept the leadership role of others and guide him toward the citizenship aim of scouting. And the uniform makes the scout troop visible as a force for good and creates a positive image in the community. Scouting is an action program, and wearing the uniform is an action that shows each scout's commitment to the aims and purposes of scouting. The uniform gives identity and a brotherhood of youth who believe in the same ideals. The uniform is practical attire for scout activities and provides a way for scouts to wear badges that show what they have accomplished. The fall camp program, a couple characteristics of it that are important is the program is immersive, which means a scout signs up at the beginning of camp for a themed track, whether the theme is the ranch or the construction company, the Camp K oil and gas company, the zoo, the science labs. All are a group of a program that is written around a certain subject and involve merit badges that are merit badges that are subject matter based on the theme of the track. And each track is written based off of a storyline involving the instruction, and mostly like the Scout Emergency Response Team is conducted as a first responder type academy where scouts are learning the skills, the merit badge requirements to become part of the Scout Emergency Response Team. Our program is different than the normal Boy Scout of America long-term resident camp. They're typically based off of block scheduling and one merit badge, and it's concentrated specifically on attending camp and checking the boxes and earning merit badges. Our program takes the focus off of merit badges and puts them on an adventure and an experience, but includes the earning of the merit badges as well. With that is how we change the experience. We want our scouts to have a different experience than the normal. We want them to experience a program that stands apart in their memories from all the other camps that they went through. And we're making long-term camp an adventure, not just another camp. And that leads into and talking about with Come and Experience Fall Camp. And that is the reason why we want to set a memory in their mind that is different, that I went to this one camp and I did this and I did that, and this camp was completely different than every other camp that I went to. Camp is ran by multiple staffing positions. Those staffing positions include a camp director, a program director, camp commissioner, professional liaison, or a staff advisor, an area director, national camp school directors, merit badge counselors, and camp support staff. This is a table of organization, or is the camp chain of command. I'm going to talk about each position and kind of a brief overview of what their responsibilities are. The camp director is responsible for the day-to-day operation of the camp, all the preparation prior to camp, and all of the work after a camp, closing a camp out. They're ultimately responsible for everything that happens at camp. Your program director oversees the shooting sports directors, any national camp school directors, area directors, and the merit badge counselors. For fall camp, we don't have an aquatics program or any other national camp school programs other than shooting sports. And then area directors are responsible for each individual track or one area of instruction. Merit badge counselors are just that. They work either under an area director in a certain track, or they may work separately teaching the same merit badge to multiple tracks. Our camp commissioner acts as a liaison from the camp director to the unit. And our camp commissioner also oversees a counselors and training program. Support staff includes our health officer, kitchen staff, facilities, and the trading post. Those are self-explanatory in their functions, I think. Your staff advisor is a professional scouter that works with the program director on behalf of, as a liaison to the council, and as a support to the volunteer program and camp director to help provide anything or resources that they need to make the camp successful. And your camp ranger oversees the operation of the camp. For the 2020 fall camp, here are our key staff members. Our camp director is Miss Jill DeWitt from Coastal District. Myself, Robert Heckler, is your program director with the Cradle of Texas District. Our camp commissioner is Brandy Heckler, also from the Cradle of Texas District. Support staff includes Health Officer Chance Browning from Thunderbird District, Kitchen Supervisor Carrie King from Coastal District, Facilities from Thunderbird District John Stone, and Miss Cynthia Marza from Coastal District, where we operate in a trading post. Staff advisor is the Bay Area Council Scout Executive Charlie Tinsley, and the camp ranger is the always awesome, loved, and respected DK Hopwood. The shooting sports director is Thunderbird Bobby Taylor, will be in charge of all the shooting sports at fall camp. And the area directors for all the different tracks are Philip Galbraith, Kim Marza, Eric Stewart, Dwayne Marks, Allison Metz, Julie Fox, Anthony Lusk, Richard Giesling, Joe Music, and Angie Short. All of our area directors are represented by all of the 4 districts in the Bay Area Council. And we have a long list of merit badge counselors that also serve on the staff for camp, as well as counselors in training. A counselor in training is a youth staff position, staffed by a scout that is over the age of 14 and still an active youth in the program. What we expect from our staff. I want to take this off. I want to start this section off. And too many times you hear so often volunteers say and make the comment that I'm just a volunteer. What exactly do you expect? From a director, from myself and the director, I strongly believe that just because you're a volunteer does not allow for a substandard performance and service provided to our scouts. We ask our staff to be professional. We ask them to be enthusiastic, alert, willing, persevering, cooperative, and follow the scout law at all times. We ask that you as a staff member give our scouts 110% of yourself to make sure that we're able to provide them with a program. Whether you're a volunteer or a paid professional, our scouts deserve the absolute best that we can provide. As a professional, we ask you conduct yourself professionally as a member of Bay Area Council and the fall camp staff to ensure the highest level of quality program is maintained. We ask that you have enthusiasm for your job, for the camp, the staff, and the way we do things for scouting. An enthusiastic staff means an enthusiastic campers. We ask you to be alert for new ideas for the needs of others, for safety violations, youth protection violations. Always be watching and always keep safety and be alert to safety issues. We ask that you be willing, your willingness to do a little more than your share, to try something new and to let other persons have ideas. This means part of working as a team, to be open-minded to feedback from directors, from fellow staff members, that we work together as a team to learn and to grow and to make our camp the best absolute camp that we can make it. To be cooperative, ready to lend a hand, an idea, and to work as a team with others, and to obey the Scout law. If we can keep ever mindful of this creed, we have little to fear. What to expect from your directors. Although the directors are in charge of camp, and technically you could say the boss, that is so far is more of a position of service than anything. We're here to serve our staff and to make sure our staff have the tools necessary to provide our scouts with an awesome program. We take our roles as directors with this camp, again, not as necessarily as a position of authority, but as a position of service. Our dedication is to our campers, to ensure they have a great program, and to our staff to make sure that they enjoy their experience and that they're having fun providing that program to our scouts. So with that, from your directors, this is what you can expect. You can expect and guarantee that we're going to be honest with you and we're going to be fair. We take a personal interest in you and the campers. We're going to be loyal to you, the aims and methods of scouting, and to our campers. We're going to provide competent and adequate leadership. We're going to meet your needs to the best of our ability. We're going to keep you oriented and informed. We're going to provide with well thought out training and a well thought out program. We're going to give you clear-cut positive decisions and directives that are not constantly changing. Things with camp change, situations will arise, and there will be times where we will need to make decisions to overcome obstacles. But we're going to do our absolute best to ensure that that is not something that is constantly happening. We're going to make sure that our demands and our asks of you do not exceed your personal ability. When a scout, a camper, an adult, or anybody reaches a task that they feel like above and beyond their ability, they're going to lose enthusiasm. And when we lose enthusiasm, when we lose enthusiastic staff, we're going to lose enthusiastic campers. But we want you to have a good time and enjoy the experience. We're going to do our best to make your staffing experience enjoyable and rewarding. And most of all, you are appreciated. And we're going to make sure that you know how appreciated you are all through camp. The national NCAP standards require training for all staff members. It varies depending on the positions that each of those staff members hold, but all staff members, regardless of position, must complete the following training. They must complete the BSA Youth Protection Training, must complete the Understanding and Preventing Youth-on-Youth Abuse Training for camp staff. Staff First Aid Training, at least 50% of staff must be currently certified in American Red Cross, CPR, AED, or approved equivalent. The total ratio of trained staff or volunteers to campers must not be less than 1 to 25. Also required is weather hazard training and workplace harassment training. For long-term camps, the training plan provides and the staff receives a minimum of 28 hours of training. This training must be over and above the physical setup of camp, tents for campsites, cleaning of buildings, etc. Training sessions for the development of outdoor skills, leadership and teaching, and other position-related skills are included in the written staff training plan. Some of the training that you're going to receive is the teacher development training through various videos that we ask for you to watch. You're going to receive training on camp emergency plan, Camp K rules and policy. You're going to receive training on camp operation, an overview of the camp program. Program staff, area directors will receive direct training from myself as the program director. They will provide training to their track staff in their track specific training to orientate them and make sure that they're on board with everything that's happening in that track and that they're prepared to provide the program necessary. This year, you're going to receive training on COVID policies and procedures. Uniforms for staff members need to look professional and be easily identifiable as staff. Acceptable uniforms include the Scout Field uniform, Class B uniform, or costume or attire matching the theme of the program area. This option 3 is what I prefer for our program staff to take part in. We ask that they dress the part to add that authenticity to the theme track that they're working. If our campers are taking the science track, I would prefer that camp staff during chemistry to wear their lab coats and their glasses and to look the part of a chemist or to look the part of a scientist to add that authenticity to the program. However, if you choose to wear a Scout Field uniform or a Class B uniform, it is required that you wear that uniform in compliance with BSA national standards, that your uniform be clean and as wrinkle-free as possible in a professional manner. This shirt must be tucked in at all times. The uniform consists of green pants and a belt. If you do not have green pants and you wear blue jeans, which many units do allow, we ask that your blue jeans be in good serviceable condition and a professional appearance. You as a staff member in the uniform that you wear, whether it's a costume, field uniform, or Class B uniform, are a direct representation of not only yourself and your unit, but of the camp and the camp staff and the directors, as well as Bay Area Council and the Boy Scouts of America. We want part of being professional is looking professional as well. So if you're going to wear the Scout Field uniform or Class B uniform, please wear the uniform in compliance with the BSA national standards, which that information can be found on the internet. The camp staff are the backbone of the program. Directors are useless without a staff, and good camps don't exist without good staff. If us as directors have no one or nothing to direct, then we're no longer directors anymore. You are the lifeblood of the program. You are what makes the engine work, the oil that keeps everything lubed and ready to go. And without you as a staff, the camp is just simply not there. And we appreciate your effort and the time and the work that you put into this to make sure this camp goes off with as few issues as we can. We need great staff that's enthusiastic. We need staff that leads by example, imaginative, alert, and competent, and friendly, respectful, team player, fun, positive, accurate, problem solvers, open-minded, disciplined, inspires, and confidence. One of the things that I want the staff members to take into consideration is I want you to put yourself in the shoes of a camper. If you were a camper looking at you as a staff member, what are your expectations for that staff member? What do you want to see? What do you expect them to do? Do you expect your merit badge counselors to have knowledge on the subject that they're teaching you and to be able to answer questions? In Bay Area Council, we're very fortunate in the staff that we're able to have. There are many camps throughout the nation that are ran 100% by youth staff, which means that their merit badges are being taught by youth that have no real live experience in those fields. Well, in Bay Area Council, we use an adult staff, a 99% adult staff, and many of our merit badge counselors work in the fields that they're teaching, works in the tracks that they're working in, and are able to provide a genuine knowledge-based, authentic experience because of that. And we have the ability to provide that kind of program that is not common anywhere else. Be the staff member, be the counselor, be the adult leader that you would want to see as a camper. The Scout law is a Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. All of this applies to staff members at camp. As staff member, you'll find that trust and success go hand in hand. A Scout is trustworthy. The camp has specific requirements outlined for its personnel. Your camp director will entrust to you duties and responsibilities related to your assignments. Your very attitude in taking on an assignment is reflected on the Scouts with whom you deal. Your attitude will reflect onto the Scouts. Attitude reflects leadership all the time. If you're breaking the rules, they're going to break the rules. A Scout is loyal to the camp and to your associates is essential to the requisites for each staff member. You should constantly be observant and concerned about matters affecting the total harmony of the camp and bring such matters to the attention of the camp director. A scout is helpful begins with an attitude of helpfulness to the newly arrived scout and his family. Apart from the service rendered, that first impression of helpfulness means so much. A lone scout's problem, if observed by you, becomes your problem until you have brought it to the attention of his scoutmaster or the camp director. Every assistance you may give is one more guarantee that the scout will have a happy stay in camp. A scout is friendly. As you pass a scout or a leader on the trail, even if you've never met them, say hi. As staff members, we ask that you treat everybody with a friendly smile, to say hello, to be a reflection of positive energy throughout the entire camp, especially as we get toward the last day or two of camp, when campers are tired, a little been camping, may miss their bed or be a little homesick. Your smile is contagious. A scout is courteous. You represent the Boy Scouts of America as you deal with scouts, leaders, parents, and even the public. In your visits to nearby areas, program areas, and nearby towns, if you're in uniform, anywhere you go that you may be in uniform, you represent the camp and the Boy Scouts of America, your unit and yourself. And this applies a certain code of personal conduct that will reflect a good credit upon you, the camp, the council, and the BSA, especially in today's environment where there is negative energy toward the Boy Scouts of America. We need leaders to go out and give a positive image of competent, respectful leadership. Be courteous and friendly and live the scout law in their everyday life. Kindness is often interpreted in its relationship to animal life. Show scouts how to be thoughtful to the animals in camp. Kindness and consideration for others, however, is of even greater importance. A scout is obedient. A staff member carries out his or her responsibility to perfection and responds to direction of supervisors and a camp director. This does not call for unquestioned obedience, but it does call for personal trustworthiness and a loyal to the camp and the camp director. If you have something on your mind, get it off quickly to the right person, your supervisor or the camp director. A scout is cheerful. A happy camp, a spirited camp is a successful camp. Enthusiastic staff members pay for enthusiastic campers. Happiness is contagious, particularly in scout camp. No one is better positioned to promote and stimulate this attitude than you, the staff member. Each staff member, regardless of position, should take it upon him or herself to motivate and give an outlook of cheerfulness and happiness in the minds of all. A scout is thrifty. Each staff member should consider his responsibilities in protecting and conserving equipment, physical property, and resources of camp. You are in a position to save thousands of dollars that might have to be used to replace or repair damaged property. A scout is brave. This fall, you represent the largest organization for scouts in the world, and you are a staff member of one of the finest scout camps in the world. You represent scouting in all aspects. You believe in the scout oath and the scout law. Otherwise, you wouldn't or shouldn't be here. A scout is clean. Your program areas, your living quarters, everything is lead by example. A scout is clean. A scout is reverent. Being faithful in religious duties becomes of great importance to us as camp staff members because of force, our great example. Because of the force our example has in molding the attitudes of those who look to us as the inspiration for the right attitudes and ideals. The 10 Commandments of Legendary Service. Make a commitment to service. The return on investment can be staggering. Not the result of providing excellent service, but customers perceiving that a company delivers service that is unique. Achieving quality service to exceed customers' expectations to the point that the customers are willing to tell others. Develop a proactive recovery strategy. The quickest way to improve your service reputation is to improve your recovery process. Customers are impressed by companies that make an empathetic, hassle-free effort to recover when customers are perceived that they receive less service than they expected. These efforts dramatically communicate to customers that the company cares, and we do at Fall Camp. That is sensitive to the customer's business, and that it will stand behind the product or its service. No matter what, an effective recovery strategy requires going all out to find a disgruntled customer. We want to know what's wrong. We want to hear the complaints. We want to know what's going on. That way, because if we don't know something's broken, we are not able to fix it. We're going to ensure continuous improvement. Effective service improvement is a cumulative effect of 1,000 small improvements made daily at every level in the organization. It often requires changing the culture from one that accepts the status quo to one that is excited about change and continuous improvement. Innovative service practices and redefining service delivery must be everyone's job. Start small and demand improvement from everyone. Define success as continually improving in all areas, including service, first-time quality, cost reduction, productivity, and development of human resources. We're going to listen to customers. Listening to customers the foundation of all good relationships and a prerequisite to business success. But surprisingly, few companies systematically listen to customers, suppliers, employees, and competitors. The radical service improvements needed in this decade will require better customer information systems. The more we know about a customer's business, the easier we can form strategic partnerships. Because service professionals spend so much time with customers, they must be the primary source for developing and updating the system. Facilitate change. Service problems are leadership problems, often resulting from management unwillingness to change. Structures reduce the numbers of inflexible policies and procedures, set higher service goals for themselves and their work groups, and spend more time on customer-related issues. Service improvement efforts fail more than from effective management practices than from lack of frontline effort. Yes, the frontline people are often unable to take risks necessary to embrace their change role and enthusiastically deliver service that consistently exceeds customer expectations. But this happens because leaders fail to ensure that desired service outcomes are well defined, the service delivery process is clearly communicated and perceived to be flexible, and guiding principles and core values are established, and everyone understands their role in the show. Defining the playing field. Frontline employees must understand the rules of play and how to win before they can successfully customize the service. You have to know where the goalpost is. You have to know where the boundaries are. And we're going to make sure that you do that for sure. Once you identify the boundaries and identify the goal, then we can adequately prepare a plan. Provide autonomy. Creative, dedicated, enthusiastic service professionals who routinely make business decisions and improvise when necessary are the foundation of excellent service. Yet many companies ignore the benefits of engaging the talents of their workforce. We want to engage the workforce. We want to hear your thoughts. We want to hear your feedback. As a program director, I cannot be in every program area at once all the time. I rely on area directors and merit badge counselors to observe and report what can we do to make it better. Measure performance. Managers must educate everyone to routinely measure all of the responsibility crucial to success. Cost reduction measures should be balanced with measures of service, quality, and leadership. Employee flexibility and continuous improvement. The most valid measurements of service quality are the subject opinions of customers. Only customers can evaluate service in light of their unique expectations. Consequently, responsibility for measuring and demonstrating continuous service improvement should be focused closer to the service professional. Only when service teams are actively involved in every facet of the service business, including measurement of quality, can organizations capture the creativity and enthusiasm needed to radically enhance service delivery. Hold everyone accountable. When we ask who is responsible for improvement in your organization, we are usually given the names of several people whose responsibilities cross many functional areas. When service problems surface, those people point out that the root cause of the problem exists with another group. This is fragmented accountability, is no accountability at all. Until a single person is accountable for service improvement, until serious personal consequences are set for failing to achieve service goals. Continuous service improvement is unlikely. Lack of individual accountability allows leaders to avoid focusing on ineffective managerial practices such as adhering to time-wasting routines, attending endless meetings, failing to set goals that test their talents, and failing to change ineffective reporting and promotional structures. And then we're going to celebrate success. We're going to celebrate the little successes. The big success that we will celebrate at the end of the week is when all of our staff members and all of our campers and all of our leaders leave with a smile on their face, with an experience that they had that they're very satisfied with. Our scouts deserve a great program, and we commit to giving them a great program and so much more. And that is not possible without our staff, without you. Again, I want to take this moment. Welcome to 2020 Fall Camp staff. This includes e-staff orientation. From Jill DeWitt, the director, and from myself, we want to extend a huge thank you and appreciation for the effort that you have committed to fall camp. The amount of work, and a lot of people in your campers will never know the amount of hours and work, not just in training alone, but in preparation of your areas, planning menus, planning inventory for the trading post, going through the medic lodge, making sure that we have everything, merit badge counselors refreshing up on their merit badge requirements and determining supplies and how they're going to execute the program along with the track. Area directors overseeing their tracks, making sure all the different parts of the puzzle are put together so the picture is clear once camp starts. All of this, none of this could be available or possible without you as a staff member. And once again, we appreciate you. We love you for your commitment, and we thank you for serving on the 2020 Fall Camp staff. We'll see you in the next training.